Hey guys, welcome to another Patchnotes video. Today we're going to talk about the Season 3 changes, the pre-season changes, 3.0. So a major update. It's going to feature more infos about the 4v4 queue, ranked borders, a new map, and some balance changes. Let's start with what many of you waited for. The 4v4 is back. I mean, it was never gone, it was just only playable through custom. But now there's going to be a classic 4v4 queue. Basically a queue with fast matchmaking, but no rating changes. But if you guys like it, then maybe we're even going to have a 4v4 ladder again. So play the game and tell the devs what to do. And maybe they will if you guys like 4v4. But because the devs thought that the old map is maybe not too fitting anymore for 4v4 and it caused a couple of lags here and there, they actually created a new map which is specifically designed to not have too many objects on it. So it lags less, probably. It's a desert map, I think pretty fitting, kinda same color style as the old one. Yeah, but with like fresh areas, fresh like Mythium areas, sending area and all that. I like it, it's pretty simple and I think it's fitting. For all you guys that like PvE, you can now select different difficulties for bots. From what I heard, it's basically just more or less starting gold. But hey, that hard bot with like, I don't know how much starting gold it is. That's probably a good challenge anyway. So you're going to be able to test a couple things, especially maybe opponents that send a little bit harder to you. So yeah, new difficulties. I hope you guys reach the rank you were aiming for, because in Season 3 you will actually see load screen borders for the first time. So from Bronze all the way to Grandmaster, I don't even know what it's called. I will never get that far, I'm just Diamond. You can see all the borders now in the loading screen. A nice feature, and it will make me feel even worse that I'm only Diamond. So hope you guys enjoy that. Of course, there's also going to be badges again, so you're going to be able to showcase it on your profile. Also new, leaderboards are now in 3 categories: rank, level, and collection value. Alright, so with the new matchmaking queue, it's all going to be a little bit different. So the play menu is going to be split into 2 things now, into play and into training. Under play you find Ranked 2v2, Mastermind only with skill-based matchmaking, basically the ranked mode. Classic 4v4 with speedy matchmaking, that's the casual queue now. And the feature game mode, special rules and mechanics enabled occasionally on weekends. And then of course custom for tournaments and in-houses. And then you have the category training, and in training you get tutorial to learn the game. You get the play versus AI with different difficulties. And sandbox mode, basically a quick way to create a solo custom game with debug enabled and 10k resources. So basically just a custom, but already with a couple things to make it easier for you. Then some fixes and improvements, updated translations, the option menu now loads instantly when discarding changes, and all that stuff, because it's been a while. Some small game balance updates. Mastermind now starts with 3 income. This actually makes some builds maybe a little bit weaker because they're relying a lot on the 4 income. But still, you can still reroll basically. And on Legion spells, a small nerf on overwork. The bonus Mythium you generate on wave 11 is going down from 70% to 60%. I still think it's very good, especially if you send 11. If you don't send 11, overwork is not really the best option anymore. If you send 12, yeah, well, it's a small nerf, but it was needed because overwork was really used like almost all the time it was available. Some changes that many of you guys wanted to see. Gateguard and Harbinger get nerfed a little bit. Well, in fact, their summons get nerfed a little bit. Their attack speed goes down from 1.24 attacks per second to 1.15. It's only a minor thing for now, but maybe it will already make a difference. Then some changes to a unit that I often pick, but can't quite make it work, really. Warwick Line is an alpha male, so basically all those units get some extra HP well, Lioness doesn't, but Alpha Male and Vork do, and their DPS gets lowered. In fact, their damage gets lowered a lot, but they have better attack speed now, which means for units like Vork that the early clear can be way better, because it can hit the creeps, like it has better damage thresholds now during early waves. Also making these units a bit more tanky kind of gives them a little bit more survivability if you use them as a split, for example, as well. Because often Alpha Male can be found in a split, because he can, like, if he's used alone, he can still kill a couple of creeps depending on what wave. So it can be really good as off tank or even as split tank. 300 HP increase is definitely going to help, and Vork also 90 HP. I guess I'm going to use it more often now. I think it has a better role now. Then some changes to the newest unit. Desert Pilgrim is going to get a small improvement on the autocost behavior, which often wasn't really used even though it was full mana. And Lost Chieftain gets nerfed by 50 HP. The shield gets nerfed by 50 HP. I think with the right units it's still insanely strong, so I don't see this unit being used less now. And now some changes to a unit that has been abused a lot recently, because the decreased damage and decreased damage reduction hasn't been functioning the way it was supposed to. It was supposed to be 15% per stack. In fact, it was only 10% per stack. Now it's actually gonna be the 15% per stack, but Hydra and Hydraling itself get extra HP. Which already means that at -1 stack, it is weaker than before. But still, X-Stack is really hard to break currently, in my opinion. So I don't think we will see it being used less. It's just, of course, it's going to be way weaker now on like -2 or -4 stacks, even if you can break it on the first round. But breaking it in general is not going to be easier now. So yeah, I'm not sure if these changes go into the right direction. I think we're still going to see a lot of Hydras, and I will use them a lot for sure. We'll see which direction this goes. Some changes to some of the bigger mercenaries now. Four Eyes gets a small, I don't really want to say remake, but it gets a change, which in my opinion makes it a lot stronger. So first up, the damage gets lowered. The attack speed is almost double as fast. And the ability isn't doing 25 per stack now, it's doing 5 per stack. But you can get the stacks a lot faster. So basically what this means is it's going to be a little bit weaker against like really big units, because the bonus ability doesn't do that much extra damage, but because of the extra DPS that it does, it will be way better against like small units, and it will be able to clear small units way faster to get to those big units, because often tier 1s or like in general small units are just blocking the Four Eyes, and it's just completely useless because it always does 25 or 50 damage only with the bonus damage. And now with the big attack speed buff, it's going to be a lot easier to clear those units. So in general, I think a big buff for Four Eyes. And then some Centaur changes. Gets extra HP, a lot extra damage, but the cleave is now weaker. So it's going to be more like maybe even like a single target counter unit. If the enemy has a lot of Swift. A little bit less on the cleave. It's still, of course, going to be strong against like Gate Guards, Bone Warrior Mass, all that kind of stuff. But just a little bit more focused on also being able to clear single units. Like a Doppelganger, for example. I think Centaur is still a big counterplay. And we conclude the balance changes with some changes to waves. To 14 Killer Slugs. They now have less spell resistance. I'm not sure if it really makes that much of a difference, because units with spells aren't being used too much anyway for 14. This does not help Canopies, for example, in any way. It doesn't. And I don't know, I feel like only Doomsday and Doppelganger are really good counterparts to this right now. And this actually is a buff to Doomsday and Millennium if you want to be like this, because if they lasted something, it's an ability, right? So it's a spell. I don't think 14 is going to be easier because of this now. And 16 gets 50 extra HP. Simply, I think it makes sense because 16 is currently really weak against the king. The 50 extra HP can make a big difference. So yeah, I think that's not too bad. And finally, a small teaser for king upgrades. You can read all the stats and all that kind of stuff, what you can do here. But I would take all of this with a little grain of salt because I don't think this is gonna be final. I can tell you why this can't be final. If you look under upgrade spell, it says increase mana gain from all attacks by 0.25. Number of upgrades 6. Let's say you can upgrade this 6 times, then you can gain 1.5 extra mana. That means per hit you do 2.5 mana. That means every 2 hits the king uses his spell. Seems OP, right? Seems like this king can't die prior to wave 20. And then the best thing is attack. 6% attack speed. 10 times stackable. I don't think the king can die. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some changes here, and there's gotta be something else with the spell. Probably I could imagine the spell will just get more damage maybe or something like that. But making the king gain like 2.5 mana per attack is not a good way. A lot of people have been talking about the regeneration, which is honestly only really good if your king is really low. Because if your king is already high, it's percentage missing health regeneration. It's not doing too much. But in my opinion, I don't think that the king is going to look like this in the end. Expected release on PTR on January the 18th. So I guess we're going to see some changes before that, and probably it's going to get tested on the PTR then, and people will be like, yep, it's not going to make it to the live server like this. Expected release is currently January the 21st. We'll see. I still would really like to see king upgrades. I would like to see how they play out. But yeah, we're gonna have to balance them a little bit because this is probably not final. Alright, so that concludes these patch notes. We've seen some interesting balance changes that I don't think will have too much impact on the current meta and all that. What I really look forward is 44. I'm definitely going to play a couple of matches. You should as well if you like it. To show the devs, and then maybe we're even going to have 44 ranked, who knows. But yeah, I hope that we're going to see a lot of new players join the game as well with these new changes, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching.